What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Ogden. Welcome back to another video, and today we got an awesome review video for you guys. Now I am indoors today because it is raining outside, so today we're going to be reviewing the loaded Fattail Longboard. Let's get into the video. Alright, here's the rundown on the quick specs. First of all, Loaded advertises this as a modern pintail board. That's just what their website says. It is a 38-inch long board, 8.6 inches wide at its widest point. It's got bare Gen 5 trucks. Now, Loaded actually sells this with Paris, but I bought this on eBay used, so it came with bare Gen 5 trucks. We got orangutan 70mm 4 President wheels on there, coupled with a pair of Bones Red bearings, and this is the Flex 2 variant of the board. Alright, with that out of the way, let's jump right into build quality. This is a very well built board. It's made out of bamboo and fiberglass. It is extremely bouncy and very springy, and it absorbs a lot of vibration because of that. It is a top mount board, which means you're going to be sitting a little bit higher off the ground than you would with a drop through or a drop down deck or other types of decks, but that's to be expected with a board that's supposed to be a modern pintail. Build quality, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5, but design wise it's going to dip a little bit because this is a very interesting design board. It's pretty much flat on the top aside from a little bit of concave on the sides, which is nice, but it's got pretty much no nose at all and this super giant tail, which is where it gets the name Fattail. Now, I'm going to talk about this a little bit later in the video, but it's just kind of an odd choice to have that tail there. So because of that, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 for the design, and we're going to get into that a little bit later in this review. Next, I want to talk about speed and stability. For speed, this board is getting a 3 out of 5 because it is very fast. It's a quick, slightly above average as far as speed goes, but it is definitely not one of my faster boards. For me, at least, it seems I have to push a little bit more than I would with my other boards, and it doesn't seem to roll as far. That may be because of the wheels that I have or the bearings, but that's just what I've experienced. And personally, I just prefer riding other styles of boards for speed, but it's up to you. You make the call. It's still a pretty fast board. Stability, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. It is quite a stable board, especially with the raised concave on the sides. It gives your feet a little extra room to lock in and have a nice grip to it. And it is definitely above average as far as stability goes. So if you're looking for a stable board, this one will definitely do justice. Now, I wouldn't take this board to go bomb hills at like 40 miles an hour plus, because you might run into some problems with that. But anything below that, or anything generally fast, I've had no problems with the stability. Next, we're going to talk about tricks. So trickability, I'm giving this a 2 out of 5. Yes, it can do tricks. Yes, that tail does help with doing tricks, but it is kind of weird. The nose is pretty much non-existent. It's just a tiny flat thing. So you can't do any tricks with the nose, only with the tail. And the board has a kind of a weird feel when popping and flipping. It's not something you normally get with boards. The one thing I will say though is when I try to do manuals on this board, it performed above average. I don't know why. That's just kind of what happened. It seemed pretty cool. So I'm going to give trickability a 2 out of 5 because I think that there are a lot of boards that are better than this, and I think it's just slightly below the average. But aside from just tricks like that, now I'm going to talk about pumping. So the pumping on this board is actually really good. This is one of the main things that this board is known for. So I'm going to give pumping a 4.5 out of 5 stars. But yeah, the pumping is amazing on this board. So due to the flexy nature of the deck, plus the raised concave on the sides, it gives your feet a very locked in feel while pumping, and also gives you a lot of leverage when pumping. And that flexiness gives you an extra bounce to your pumping, which gives it a little extra propulsion forward. So this is like the main thing this board is good at. It's really good at pumping. If you don't have a surf skate and you want a longboard, but you still want to pump, this is like the best option that you can get out there on the market right now. Lastly, I'm going to give a score for versatility of the board. I'm going to go with a 3 out of 5. I think it's a little bit above average as far as its versatility. It can do tricks, it can do pumping, it's good at cruising, it's good at somewhat fast speeds and stuff, but it doesn't do anything super well besides pumping and sort of cruising. So I'd say it's a little bit above average. It can do a little bit of everything, but I've also had boards that can also do all of this and a little more and at a little better of a rate, I guess. So I'm sticking with a 3 out of 5. So those are all my ratings for the board. I just think this is a very strange shaped board for Loaded to have out on the market. So they're advertising this as a modern pintail, right? And they're also advertising it to be really good at pumping. So pintail pumping equals a board you're trying to get people to buy that want to do cruising and want to do pumping. Those main two things. So what I want to know is, why are we including a giant tail in the mix of this? Because it kind of gets rid of the point of a cruising and a pumping board. The tail is just not necessary for that, and I feel like it's kind of holding it back from those two things. And while some may argue, wait, but that's adding versatility to the board, I'm going to counter and say, yes, it's adding versatility, but it's bringing down its ability to cruise and pump at a high level. This is a really fun board. I've had a lot of fun with it, but for the price, I'm going to have to say probably don't get it unless you can find a really good deal on it, because I've just seen other boards and used other boards that are better for the price. Even from Loaded, I would recommend probably my Tien over this one. I think the Tien can do everything this does, except it can also cruise a little faster and stuff. And those are my thoughts I have on the board. That's the end of this review. If you liked it, please hit the like button for me. And if you really liked it, go ahead and drop a subscribe on your boy. We're trying to get to 5K and then to 10K. That is the overall goal. Anyways, it's been your boy, OG Den. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Have a good rest of your day. Peace out. I'm gone. Yeah.